My wife and I started the journey of dementia with her parents about 5, 6 years ago. And we, like a lot of our viewers, realized that we really didn't know what we were dealing with, and that it seemed to change every day, and her mom's mood, her dad's mood, so we showed up at the Alzheimer's office one day and said, look, I think we need your help. This is what's happening, and then what do we do next, sort of thing. And they were great. I mean, between the courses that Karen teaches and the help that Jessica gave us, and the pamphlets, and here's maybe what you should do, and here's maybe what you shouldn't do, and all this, we kind of carried on the journey, and to the point where Deb's mom right now is at the Pines in Bracebridge getting excellent care. As a family, we kind of remain together because it's very stressful. So the opportunity, speaking with Karen, and they were looking for people for their board of directors, and they had done so much for our family that I just wanted to give back. So I said, sure, we'll come and volunteer and see what we can do, and maybe help other families with the journey that they're on too. Can you tell me what exactly you're diagnosed with?
I'm diagnosed with dementia. The first diagnosis was the dementia, probably Alzheimer's. And then I've since also been diagnosed with a form of vascular dementia as well. That's affecting me in other ways, which explains some of the things that happen to me that are not normal for Alzheimer's.
Okay, so like, can you give an example of what that might be?
Long-term memory.
Long-term memory.
It's been knocked right out of me for the most part. And so I really have no history. And that's not normal for the dementia of Alzheimer's. So there's a couple of things that play in. The vascular one could likely be the reason that knocked that out of me. It's not that it's gone, it's I can't get to it.
Yeah, you can't get to it. And is it now, when you were diagnosed, was it early? Were you too young to have such a diagnosis?
I was diagnosed as early onset dementia. Anybody under 65, usually it's called early onset because it's not normal for it to be prevalent at that age. I was 61 when I was diagnosed. Hard to believe it was 4 years ago, but anyway.
Yeah. Time flies. And I guess you were just talking about a little bit how it was like the little things that kind of, what triggered yourself to be like, maybe I should go get this checked out, because people forget things all the time. I do. I mean, I forget what I had for dinner yesterday. But so like, what are some of the things that was it just so frequent that you were forgetting certain things that drove you to, I want to go to the doctor to see if I can get a diagnosis?
I don't remember the details about why I started asking the doctor about this, other than the fact that I knew my long term was gone, because Elsie kept saying, my wife, just kept saying to me, you've done this.
I don't remember.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing, all kinds of things like that.
And certainly with the communities such as Muskoka, Parry Sound, Muskoka, right across the district here, we do have an aging population. Karen, we were talking about this. We've talked about this before. And it's only going to get older, so the need of your services and what Alzheimer Society of Muskoka provides is going to increase. I want you to expand on that a little bit, but I also want you to integrate maybe some statistics as well. So what are we dealing with locally first, and then move on to nationally if you can?
Yeah, so in Muskoka Parry Sound, and this is based on what we call Hopkins data, we are projecting that there are probably about 2,400 people living in Muskoka Parry Sound with dementia.
Okay.
And when we move that into Ontario, we know that there's approximately about 180,000, and then we move that to national statistics of Canada, it's about close to 750,000 Canadians who are living with this disease. They're suggesting worldwide that somebody every 3 seconds is getting diagnosed.
Every 3 seconds.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense, right? Because when you look at demographics and population, they're suggesting that 1 in 3 people over the age of 85 have a dementia.
Now, could it be, and these numbers too, and correct me if I'm wrong as well, but we are a healthier society as well, so we are living a lot longer. And do those play in those statistics as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think one of the greatest risk factors is the one we can't change, which is age. So the older you get, the more likely you are. Over 65, the numbers are 1 in 11 over 65 will have a dementia. And as I said, when you move into greater age, 1 in 3 over 85. So you can see that as you get older, it's going to increase your rate. Now, with that being said, I've had the pleasure of meeting lots of 90-year-olds and centenarians that are over 100 that haven't been affected by a disease like Alzheimer's. So it's not necessarily a guarantee, but it's certainly going to increase your risk.